Hello everybody and anybody, it's Dan and I'm here with a new video. So for this video, I'm going to be continuing off of my last video, which was the adopt tips that I said I was going to do. But before that, I want to explain what's on screen, which is a speed paint of the mirror version of Poppy, which is ePop. And I know it's a bit late, but I want to wish y'all a happy new year and I hope that your 2019 is better than your 2018 was. So yeah, on to the video. My first tip is going to be not really a tip, but just kind of an explanation on how I go about choosing new admins and what I look for and how I do things. So what I do when I get a DM for a person trying to admin, I send them a paragraph that I have saved for new admins that want to join, and it's basically just asking for a bio about how long they've been doing art, their experience with adopts and adopt accounts, and also just some examples of their art. One thing, however, when I ask for art examples, it's not to see your skills of art or how good you draw, really. It's mostly just to see what kind of art you do, your medium, how experienced you are. And it's not really to judge you. I don't grab admins based on how good their art is, mostly just on how much they can post and how active they can be. I would say that's a big thing to keep that in mind if you want to be an admin owner. You should never really not accept someone for their art style or their art skills. It just seems really unfair to me, but if that's how you want to go, then I guess I can't stop you. Tip number 2 would be watching your admin capacity. And what I mean by that is watching out how many admins you can handle. It can get very busy very quickly if you don't watch out how many admins you're accepting in your account, any kind of account really. I always started off with a very small amount of admins, and once I got bigger and saw that the few admins I had couldn't really deal with keeping up and posting all the time, then that's when I started getting new admins, and that's something I do recommend. Of course, once you have more experience and know how, you're gonna go with things, then you're free to have as many admins as you want. It's just a fair warning that sometimes having too many admins can cause drama or something like that. I do have experience with that, and it's not really nice or fun to deal with at all. And last but not least is my tip number 3, which is don't forget about your account. I say this with experience because life can get very busy and you never know what's gonna come up really. For example, when I had my finals, I kind of just completely forgot about my account and I had so many people trying to admin and the admins couldn't find me and I had not prepared for what to do with my admins and if I were to go missing like that again. But I have set up a plan now just to make sure and be on the safe side. So if you see that your life is getting pretty busy or that something's going to come up and you won't be able to run your account, you should probably warn your admins before disappearing like I did, because it'll save you a lot of troubles. So those are all my tips, but that is not the end of the video because I just want to give some examples and some facts. Not facts really, just stories and all that I have to share with my experiences and all that based on these tips that I just gave you. So my tip number 1 wasn't that clear, but what I really meant to say was having something set up for when you want new admins. I think this one's pretty obvious, but just in case you want some tips, I have a paragraph prepared like I said before for when I need to quickly, get, if I have too many admin, like people trying to admin and all that, I just have something quick and pretty specific to give them. Sometimes, however, there are some new kids, artists trying to join with you and they don't really know how things work, so you gotta explain a bit more, but it's nothing that much. It's just having patience and time to explain more than you were planning on. Also, a part of my first tip was when I ask for examples, I'm not there to judge your art. I'm not there to see, oh, they don't have a good enough art style or art skills for my account, so I'm not going to let them join. I do have an experience on that, which did not go well. This was when I was first starting my second account, and I had a couple of admins, and there was a new person trying to admin and all that. And like what I always do is I check up with my admins, so I send them pictures of their art and their bio, and I'll just get commentary and feedback. Mostly what I do that for is so that everyone's comfortable with the new admin, and just to make sure that the admin, the person trying to join, might not be stealing an art style or something like that that I may not know, but maybe they recognize. Back to the story. So what had happened was one of my admins was not happy with the person trying to join with their art style. They said that they didn't want them to be a part of the account because they didn't really like their art style or their art skills, and one of the admins got pretty mad about it, pretty upset. So they spoke out about it because, that's wrong. Even I thought it was wrong what they said. And it became an argument that shouldn't have been. And sadly, because of that argument, the admin, protecting the person trying to join, did end up leaving the account. And then later on, the other admin left. And, it was quite upsetting. And I never really want that to happen again. And that's why when I asked for my admin's opinions on a new person trying to join, it's not really about their art style or their skills. It's mostly just, so everyone's on the same page. And sadly, because of an admin deciding to not be very kind, a person lost their opportunity to become an admin, and that's really upsetting. I didn't even get to answer back to the person because I didn't know how to respond to them saying that one of my admins decided to be rude, and that's just something that's not nice to deal with. And I think that was kind of a problem on my fault for not really explaining well that when I share, like, ask for their opinions, it's not so you can just judge their art. It's so that you can know what's going on. So that's something I think you should be more prepared for than I was. So, put it in your rules or something like that, beforehand, explain it to them, you know. My second tip was watching out for your admin capacity, and what my experiences really has to do with my last story right now about the admin. I think I just got too carried away having to take care of too many admins that I just completely forgot to set up so many other rules that I had to make up a new paragraph of rules to send to my group chat. And I think it was an unnecessary step that I just forgot to take when I started to get carried away with so many admins. And of course, not forgetting about your adopt account, which is something that is very obvious, but sometimes you just forget about it. Or maybe you don't. Maybe that's just me, but I don't know. Life happens. So after my finals, I realized that my account I had been inactive in my account for so long, and so many of my admins were trying to look for me, and I just didn't even notice it, didn't see it at all. I don't know. I wasn't really on social media during those times, so I was just on a whole other thing, and I completely forgot. So after that, what I decided to do was send them the paragraph that I had made for getting new admins and all that, and just, I don't have anyone set up for who's gonna do that, but that's something I should probably do. Wow, a new tip. Who knew? So that's another thing. Have an admin that you trust, or just anyone set up for, accepting new admins when you're absent. Yeah. Lesson learned. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video and my speed paint and rant. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. Some things I wanted to apologize about was my speed paint's not recording correctly and having missing footage. I'm sorry, I don't know, my app is not working, but I'm trying to get that fixed. it's just complicated the way I have to compile these videos together. And also, sorry for my very monotone voice. I'm trying to work on it. I'm barely starting. It's just that I need to wake up so early so that the house is quiet so I can record things. But yeah, I'll fix that eventually.